Hi, this is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald. Welcome to my Star Atlas Week in Review podcast. This is podcast number 159. Any articles or mentioned can be found on my website at intergalacticherald.com. Just look for Weekly Recap Newsletter 207. So just a quick summary of things that happened this past week in Star Atlas, mainly just the Star Atlas Brew, which occurred on Wednesday. Unfortunately, the Rager Economy Forum was canceled, and do have a couple of things to pass along that was in the Foundation Room. But before I get to all that, just want to mention some of the things I'm working on in Star Atlas. Please do check out my website, intergalacticherald.com. It's a great Star Atlas resource for guides, directories, recaps, and I do have a Discord announcement newsfeed. Check all that out again at intergalacticherald.com. Do have a Star Atlas merch store, intergalacticgear.com. Not a lot of selection, but if you want a mug with some Star Atlas logos, that's available. I've been trying to develop out some different wall art. You can check that out too. Unfortunately, only shipping in the United States, but, again, lots of configuration. So anyways, check that out at intergalacticgear.com. And then I'd love to get together with other Star Atlas gamers. So I'm trying to form a Star Atlas community called Intergalactic Coalition. This is basically a non-guild. So if you're not interested in joining guilds, you can still hang out with other Star Atlas gamers. Please check out intergalacticcoalition.com. So as far as things that happened this past week in Star Atlas, like I mentioned, there was a Star Atlas Brew. It basically was predominantly a demo of Holosim, but they did have a few updates at the beginning. So Raid to Zinc, they did have a maintenance period. They did make an announcement on their Discord, so needed to, I guess, do some maintenance to something. The blockchain, I'm not really sure. Also, they mentioned they have been working to get the linking for Zinc up with Holosim because, again, they're going to re-enable that linking with the new Chapter 2, Season 1 coming out. So they said no major updates on C4 other than they are continuing their internal playtest. So I guess just status quo, keep testing until they're ready to move to the next phase. And there was an announcement that a lore wiki now has been made, and I just realized I don't know where to find that. Maybe they mentioned in the brew. If you want to listen to the entire Atlas Brew, please check out Star Atlas TV on YouTube. That channel will have the complete recording. And again, if you're already listening to this podcast, you probably already heard the Atlas Brew AI recap that I put out a few days ago. So, and then as I mentioned, the bulk, most of it was a demo. They finally figured out how to do screen sharing consistently on Discord. So one of the team members who's working on Holosim did a very, not exhaustive, but very long demo of different aspects of the new Holosim. Again, I think it's Season 1, Chapter 2 is how they're referring to it. So they also did mention at the brew that it was coming out soon, but I think, totally forgot. But again, if you get my Discord announcement news, you would know this. There now is an official release date, so it's coming up soon. I apologize, didn't write it down last night. So, but you can definitely check out. I don't know what you check out to find that. It's on Twitter. Sorry, I guess I don't know what it is. Oh well. But anyways, so the demo was there. So that was pretty much just a past week. As I alluded to, there was supposed to be first Monday of the month a economic forum, but that was unfortunately canceled. So that's pretty much it. So moving on, kind of my thoughts on the state of Star Atlas this past week. It's really nice that there is finally a new release date of Holosim. The demo was a nice thing to see, especially for people that are interested and basically going over things that are different from last chapter. So it was very nice to get the updates on that. Overall, on the other things, on the canceled economic forum, there was an announcement, so that was nice that they made, a pre-announcement that it wasn't there. It was noted that Chris, I never forget everybody's titles, but the head of economics in Star Atlas had other things, other priorities. Would assume perhaps some Holosim stuff, but regardless, it's, as they mentioned in some other context, the team has been reduced, so we know that. Well, I shouldn't say this for sure, but we know we lost one of the other Econ team members who used to come to the Econ forums. So, less people. There's just got to be some things. And again, community teams no longer there to help coordinate and things like that. So, related to C4 and Zinc, they didn't put any dates, but it still feels like, again, they're just making sure that it plays well, or I shouldn't say plays well, that whatever they're looking to do, they want to move to the public release test, and no reason not to at least check it out internally with more people before doing that, even though, again, there's no expectation that I'll be free of bugs or anything like that. So, and then again, does integrate with Zinc and all that stuff. So hopefully, again, we're not too far off from that. However, little things on the Foundation Room, which again is public, so I can talk about it. Michael Wagner, the CEO, did say that they're still hoping to launch in April, at least according to their internal timeline, but he doesn't have a lot of, he's not willing to say in high confidence that it'll happen for sure. But I mean, again, that's a little more transparent in the past that, again, putting a date, internal date at least. And I think, again, it's sort of the realization, and it goes back to kind of the reduced staffed, that, again, they literally had to have another round of staff reduction. So there's going to be consequences. There's just no way around that. But he did mention in the Foundation Room that they are looking to potentially offset some of these staffing reductions by using more AI assistance to help in output. So again, I don't get the feeling this is quote unquote creative output. I think this is coding. Again, that's just reading between the lines on my part. He just said output or something. So we'll see. But again, I think a reality or the handwriting's on the wall as far as that. Yeah, they had to, revenues aren't where they need. Well, definitely not where they need to be. They had to have staff reductions. Unfortunately, now the community team was considered expendable, and sounds like, again, even internally, some of the, I'm just going to keep calling them programmers or developers, had to be reduced. So it's unfortunate, but again, there's no products. There's nothing that generates revenue. I mean, the only thing I think you can pay for right now other than buying chips is the monthly Zinc profiles, and I guess which will translate over to the Battle Pass, but these are tens of dollars, $20. So, I mean, again, you need tens of thousands of people to actually move the needle in my thinking related to revenue. But nevertheless, they've had for a few months now emphasis that, got to ship products. And so pipeline is full of things with HoloSim and C4 and Zinc, and continue UE5 development. So all for AI assistance with helping on output. So we'll see how it goes. So that's pretty much all my thoughts this past week. Again, partly because there wasn't a lot. I mean, the HoloSim demo was great. As I've mentioned in the past, I'm not anti-HoloSim by any stretch. It's more of a question of timing. I just don't have the time to get into something, and it sounded like from the first one that, again, it required a lot of time commitment, which is great. I mean, that's what games should do. A lot of replay value, a lot of purpose, a lot of goals. Sounds like a great game. It just unfortunately isn't my play style. No, I guess I shouldn't say it's not my play style. I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time with business and family responsibilities and sleeping and not getting sick and stuff like that. So anyways, just to wrap up kind of my journey playing StarOS, like I said, HoloSim just isn't on my radar because of time, but I am continuing to do actions within the current Sage Starbase Labs, whatever we're calling Sage. And so with the goal, again, of mining a Mamba X, if you've been following along, slowly gaining resources. But again, all those actions build up my ZXP profile for Zinc for the airdrop, so all good. So I actually decided to stop transporting Luminite only because my miner couldn't keep up. Never seemed to have this problem before, but now I say it out loud. It could be a change in hardness. I know that does change the speed, if I remember correctly. So moved my transport fleet over to some iron ore I'd left at another starbase. It was closer, so I quickly moved that back. So I kind of just stopped that transport. The Luminite production kind of started accumulating again, so I restarted my transport. But also, I've been selling food at that starbase. Apparently, no one else wants to, so it takes a little while, but eventually somebody buys it, and at a pretty decent, arbitrage from what food costs at the Central Space Station. So, cool. So I decided, hey, I got my fleet bringing back Luminite. Why don't we take out a lot more food, because I have a whole bunch of food in my stockpile, and we'll see if this big order gets filled, so that'd be really nice. But I would be patient because I took out a lot. So, and as far as Zinc, definitely still steady, not as kind of major jumps on the leaderboard, but definitely slow, steady. Again, assuming I'm doing a whole bunch of things. So when I stopped my transport, it did seem to kind of slow down a bit, but again, makes perfect sense. You're doing less commands. So yeah, so that's pretty much my current playstyle. Always, again, thankful for Sly Assistant. So nice. In fact, I'm even finding things like I didn't know was possible. I could change the configuration, hit save, and it just restarted that thing. I didn't have to restart the whole thing, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, just definitely a great tool that community has made and made available to everyone. So anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this week in Star Atlas. Again, totally open if anybody wants to be a podcast guest. You can reach out to me through my website or on Discord, Star Atlas Discord. Again, while you're on my website, intergalacticherald.com, please check out my guides, directories, recaps, the Discord newsfeed. I will be completely honest, the guides and directories are a little dated, but only because there hasn't been anything new coming out. Optimistic with release of C4 that'll be a good time to upgrade the beginner tutorials and things like that once those things stabilize. So again, if you want to start out with mug, please check out intergalacticgear.com. And again, if you'd like to get together with other Star Atlas gamers, love to get together and facilitate that, check out intergalacticcoalition.com. That was the week in Star Atlas. Matt with the Intergalactic Herald. Have a great week ahead.